Hello there.
Hi, welcome to Monday nights. Where I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Welcome to Rolls of Redemption, where we redeem your Monday one roll at a time. Today we will not be rolling dice because, if you notice, our numbers are a little small today, a little different. And if you read the chat, you'll notice that Amelia is in the chat and not on the screen. This is because Amelia is sitting in a hospital right now, waiting for potentially the baby to show up, which is really exciting. And we'll just be praying and thinking about you and hoping that finally little nerd comes and makes an appearance. But until then, here we are on stream with you.
Thanks for joining us. So, like Janine said, no Amelia and Atreus today. And as you may have also noticed, no Lisa today. For those of you who did not see, we did make an announcement in our social channels as well as on the Discord. So I'll read that here for you who may have missed it. Due to scheduling conflicts and life circumstances, Lisa, the Forest Shade, will no longer be playing with Rolls of Redemption. We want to thank her for her contributions to the stream and the good roleplay she brought to the table with her character Tara, the Leviathan. While we are sad to see her go, we wish her well with all of her future endeavors. We look forward to all our future adventures. Thank you all for joining us in our chaos. With that said, we do have an announcement. As you may have noticed, there is still a icon on this screen right now. So it is our pleasure to introduce our newest character, standing in for Amelia while she's on baby leave. We have Torkel, played by Nate. Say hello, Torkel.
Surprise! Nate's not only in the
Hi there. Glad to be here.
Oh, welcome to the chaos.
Nate, tell us a little bit about what we can expect from Torkel.
Oh, all sorts of fun. I mean, so Torkel is a dwarf bard. Definitely here to make sure the party doesn't all die in Atreus / Amelia's absence. Loaded up on cure wounds and healing word and all that good stuff. Through an Yeah, well, I've been watching you go through your dying phase, so obviously you need me around. So, but yeah.
Aware of how we feel about hitting 0 hit points.
Apparently there's a go from me.
Speaking of 0 hit points, we should probably recap what we just all experienced. And then we'll open up the floor for more questions, more backstories, how things are going to go. But are we good? Am I good to kind of fumble my way through this recap?
Yeah, give us the best fumbled recap you have.
Where did we end? Well, we were killing a chimera on the last episode, correct? That was happening. Yes. The thing that had the head of a lion, a goat, a snake tail, a dragon head, and was there one more head? I don't remember how many heads there were, but there were many heads. And we did manage to pretty much kill this thing. It flew away into a cave, and because we are so smart, went after it. Mostly, went after it because the 4 heads. Thank you, Kat. Mostly, went after it because it had 3 of her javelins stuck in it. And, she's like, I'd really like to get this back. So we went after it, stepped into this cave, figured out how to get up there, and immediately into 4 different charm traps, which was not very fun. Unfortunately, the charm that Tara stepped into to give the Forge Lisa a glorious death was a necromancy charm that completely obliterated Tara, turned her into a pile of ashes, unfortunately. And
apparently, Dex says that the NPC Tavern is to thank for that wonderful experience.
Oh, goody! Thank you so
Thanks, everyone.
For $3, a month, you could join our Coffee, Ko-Fi, whatever you want to call it, link that's down below and torture us yourselves. How great is that? Wow, fantastic. So Tara went poof with a necromancy charm. Mina got stunned and couldn't move. Atreus got frightened or something out of his mind, and Akir saw I don't know, illusions or something, but was able to
Akir almost went insane, but fought it off because he's Akir.
Yes. To which point Akir goes and saves Atreus from running out and falling off the mountainside. Brings him back in. Atreus tries to push Mina out of the stunned phase, gets stunned himself. We tie a rope around Atreus, yank him out, and all grieve for a moment, but go further into this cave. We go deeper into the cave. There's a big pile of treasure, and we're like, "Ooh, well, we're here, so might as well rifle through." We all see things we really want, but then Akir is just like, "Yo, I'm just gonna yoink this horn and we're just gonna go." But of course, that's just not how things go. Things are never simple in D&D, are they? So then after Akir touches this pile of gold,
it was, in my defense, it was not just a pile of gold I touched. I grabbed a horn of Uvar, which is the thing I've been after for quite some time.
Because our DM knows how to bait you.
That too.
Pretty simple there. Akir isn't Birdman anymore. He's Boss Man. It's true. Sorry, I get distracted by the chat. I'm gonna keep focusing while I'm talking. Okay.
It's more fun to distract you.
They're there to distract me, I know. Once that is touched, all the gold monies get pulled in. A suit of armor pops up out of the gold and the treasure pile. It brings to life a little elephant that turns into a very big elephant. And then we start getting attacked, and that's fine and dandy because Atreus dispels magic, and the armor falls to bits because it was an artificer, right? The elephant, because there's no magic, turns back into a little elephant statue. But then here's the kicker: the whole pile of money was a mimic. So then,
technically a mimic horde.
A mimic
or a horde mimic? I don't remember.
Was technically only a quarter of the pile.
That's true. It was only a quarter of the pile, not the whole thing.
You're so great. So great. Because then Mina ends up in its mouth and also blinded by acid and also in death saving throws. That's right, everybody. If you were on the Discord, you got to see me have a panic attack because this was my first experience with death saving throws and I didn't like it.
Ko-fi subscribers are the only ones who got to see your very first death saving throw.
I'm glad it was on chat because then nobody could see me except for all the people at Comic-Con. Yes, because this was happening while Peter and I were at Comic-Con, and I'm just, walking around the Javits Center like, I just died. Wait, I don't die. This never happens to me. So yeah, that was really fun for me.
Wait, this isn't right. We're smarter than this.
Someone break out the script. Yes, but it was okay. Also, Peter, can you let Lila out because she's standing in the hallway over here? Real life happens. It was okay because Akir and Atreus brought her back. It was fine. We killed the mimic. We left. Now we are on the road. Oh, Akir did it with a lightning bolt. He wanted me to tell you that. It was odds. Evens if it's lightning, odds if it's fire, and the fire would have burnt me to a little crisp. But it was lightning instead, so that was okay. I did not get burnt to a crisp. Mina still looks fantastic. A little bloody though. But we left there. We could not bring back Atera's ashes because the boys no longer had spell slots to dispel the magic that was around the ashes. So we're going to pour one out. Going through the woods, we realized that we cannot make it back to Nickelzen's and whatever, the town that we came from this time. But Atreus had a little chess piece, a rook. And I have no idea when he picked this up, honestly. But apparently, if you speak the word that's on the bottom, it turns into a giant fortress. So we had our own tiny home, guys. It was so great. And we're just like home sweet home. We all had bedrooms. Welcome to my crib, MTV. And got to take a nap. It was awesome. And then right now, a cart. Could you stop drinking all the water for all of our people to hear, Lila? Lila. Thank you.
I mean, I couldn't hear it.
Okay. It's just like chugging water over there and I don't like it. And then a cart came by at this point and there was 2 dead bodies inside and 1 injured 12-year-old girl that we don't know what to do with. That's where we're at. Yep.
Great recap. And hey,
hard.
I mean, even with how long and random it was, we're still at the like 8:15 mark, which is our typical recap point because we always take tons of breaks during our recap to laugh.
My recap was Amelia approved. I appreciate it.
That means it's valid. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I still echoing? I don't know if I'm still echoing. I'm so sorry. The correct microphone is down. I don't know what's going on.
Janine, I'm kind of wondering if the echo might be coming from you because I don't hear the echo.
I don't hear an echo. I can mute myself and then you can try talking.
Yeah. All right. Try now, Nate.
Testing. Am I still echoing?
Oh, I found
Chat.
it.
Anybody?
How's he sound now?
How about now? How do I sound now? Is that better? Is this better? Still echo. Big echo. Okay.
Wait, better?
Better?
Okay.
Better!
It was my fault.
Ah, thank goodness. Phew. All right. That makes me feel better.
So
Thank you, Peter. Thanks, chat.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the delay.
Yep. Well, it's an 8-second delay for the video, and then people have to like type, so it's like 12 seconds before you see their actual answer. But for those nerds out there who are familiar with streaming technology, I use something called OBS, and we're using Skype for our call. So Skype has an option called NDI. And I know this is a lot of acronyms, so most of you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But basically, it allows me to have individual video and audio streams for each person on the call. And that feature on audio hasn't been working for everyone. So I've just been using the regular laptop sound to record for the stream. But Nate, being newly added, I hadn't clicked off his audio thing, and apparently his works. So,
Wait, Nate, we don't give the chat or NPCs inspiration because they hurt us with it.
Sorry, that's too much power. Yeah, you're right.
Nope.
I'm new here.
The number one rule is never give the DM or NPCs any inspiration.
They can use their Twitch bubble channel points to make us do stuff, but that's where we draw the line.
Oh, I've given Rob ideas. Oh no.
Yep, cool. Thanks for that. Too late.
My bad.
Too late. Sorry, Rob. I know.
He'll get there eventually.
Nope, he can't.
All right. So while we continue to babble and laugh, we do want to open this for Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to post them.
Yes. Are you in labor?
You should know, Amelia.
While you guys are thinking of potential questions, I'm going to do another little plug for Raised on D&D. Their season 7, I think, episode 1 features Peter and I talking about our experience with D&D. Peter's much longer experience with D&D than mine because I just started playing in like February, March, if you can believe that. But yeah, it was a great experience. It was really fun. Peter just dropped the link there in the channel. Yeah, it was great. It was a good time. So I'm gonna kind of use that to piggyback. Nate, how long have you been playing D&D?
So my first experience with D&D was probably 2016 or 2017. Did some D&D with Peter actually. We did Pathfinder campaign. That was kind of my first experience with D&D. I don't know how many sessions. We probably had like 6 or 7 sessions of that. It was a short-lived campaign. Since then, I've done a couple of one-offs sporadically, guest starred in a couple of people's campaigns, but and then we did a 4-part one-shot a few weeks ago. So yeah, this was my first time playing a bard though. So I think I've played a couple of wizards, a sorcerer, and this is my first time playing a bard. So there's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve, but Rob's made me a real threat, I think.
Rob is one of no, I'll say Rob is the best DM I've ever played with. And that's not hard. That's not hard because I haven't played with that many DMs, but still, he's just everything you want a DM to be because he works to make your character amazing. There's also the twist of he's working to make your character amazing so that he can torture them more.
Traumatize you.
I mean, have you seen the magic items he throws at people?
I have. I am now fighting with trying to figure out what to attune to because I have too many.
It's a good problem to have.
We're gonna piggyback. Kat had a question a little bit earlier. Peter, what does the horn do for you? Why did you trigger a mimic for this horn? Why did you want it so bad?
So this horn, once a day, I can blow on it and turn all of my companions within 60 feet's weapons into magic lightning weapons. So they do an extra 1d6 of damage for a full minute. All of them.
This needs to happen when we're fighting the undead because Amina will be unstoppable.
Yeah. One of these days in the very near future, Akir is going to do a massive amount of damage without using Fireball, and it will be glorious.
What's really fun is one of these days, Mina's going to do a massive amount of damage while using Fireball.
That's going to be fun. Yeah.
So Mina found a necklace that each one of the jewels is a fireball of different levels. And I'm really excited.
Yeah. So some of the other things the horn does is while it's on my person, I am resistant to thunder and lightning damage. So that's fun. And there's an option to, similar to like gust of wind, but with thunder, I blow on the horn and blow away my enemies for like 5d8 damage and 10 feet blown away from me. And it has the rune of Uvar, which I can attune to a weapon, and the weapon will just always do 1d6 damage. So one of these days in the very near future, after Akira has some fun blowing on the horn, he's going to attune it to the Dragon Wing longbow, and he will be doing 2d6 of elemental damage with every arrow. So
I'm excited. It's going to be great.
Yes, the blowing thing is once a day for each thing. So I believe, and DM, you can correct me if I'm wrong since you're in the chat, the lightning weapons and the thunder thing are each once a day. And the resistance is just always, as long as I'm wearing it. So that is why I triggered the Horde Mimic.
Yeah. It's really fun for me. Great time.
Professor H2O's asked, how did Torkel end up in Nicholas Inn?
So that's a little bit of a fun story, and if you get into my background, you'll I got a little carried away. It's about 2.5, almost 3 pages of. Is it 4 pages?
Said 4 pages. I'm pretty sure that said 4 pages.
It might be 4 pages of background. I got a little carried away. So Torkel's actually a shipwright. So dwarves are not exactly known as sailors, but it turns out that Torkel's not really good at anything else. So he kind of burned through a bunch of skills. I'm pretty good at beer. I can brew beer. But I ended up on a ship kind of chasing thunderstorms. So I picked my deity, and I should totally know his name. I totally don't. But he's kind of the god of wanderers, and thunder is his sign. And so I went up talking with a sailor, and he's like, yeah, so we've had a pretty gnarly thunderstorm out there. I'm like, that sounds cool. I should do that. Made myself a shipwright. Eventually, on tell me if this sounds familiar. On an ill-advised treasure hunt, I was captured by pirates, and things went downhill pretty fast. I managed to get away with a little bit of a thunder spell, threw myself into a rowboat, cut myself away, and eventually our lovely Captain Jiminy Blockhead, whom you all saved from a banshee, picked me up on his boat.
I knew it was going to be him.
I saved from a banshee.
I'm sorry, whom Mina saved from a banshee.
Yeah, Kier was out that whole time.
When you deal 76 damage in one round, you get the credit for killing the banshee.
Yes.
So
that probably contests the max damage I've ever done.
And that's how I ended up in Nichol's Inn. And given that you all are planning to throw his ship to the wolves, I'm working on reinforcing the hull. So
the wolves, the undead.
I'm sorry,
it's very different.
You gotta do one of those videos like, yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up here.
Yeah. So that's most of the story. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So
oh no, don't give the DM more ideas. Undead wolves, what are you doing? Oh, that is an NPC. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I ended up in Nichol's Inn, and I'm currently out trying to find the captain because he got lost and drunk looking for a cannon. So yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's gonna be a interesting experience, especially if Atreus gets body snatched before then.
I'll be honest, when I was writing that backstory, I was planning for your ship to be the one that found me, but as it turns out, that's not exactly what happened. So
nice.
Could have been fun.
I'm looking forward to exploring that. There are so many different ways that character can connect with the party. I mean, just the mention of thunder and lightning screams Akir. So
yeah, you two are gonna be like drinking buddies.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I'm a bard. I definitely heard about the wedding. So we'll see when I actually meet you. But I've definitely heard about the wedding.
Well,
so
especially if you were a shipwright, like the whole dock saw the event. So
oh yeah.
This is like a famous couple, and the fact that Atreus is not going to be there, like everyone should be out looking for Atreus.
I feel like Torkel and Akir are just going to be like out in the middle of the sea, and Akir is going to be like flying through lightning, and Torkel's just going to be having a grand old time.
Oh yeah, I love lightning. I love a good thunderstorm.
Lightning, thunder. And
there's a thunderstorm, you give me the watch, and I'll just take it the whole night. It'll be a blast.
And then Mina's just going to be like there with her glowing yellow trident.
All right, keep those questions coming.
I mean, we can always make stuff up. Were sharks and lichen wolves? Gosh. Okay, so no.
I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound good.
I don't want to know what that is. I don't ever want to experience this, whatever it is.
I mean, I guess I've got a decent idea on were sharks. That sounds fairly self-explanatory.
Today, the DM joked around about reanimating bodies, and I was just like, listen, I have one rule.
So, but that joke wasn't for you. That's actually something for those in the Discord. I don't know if you've caught on yet, but we're basically playing on Akir's alert feat as more of a trauma response than a boon for his character, in that Akir has the alert feat, so he has bonus on initiative. He can't be surprised. He's basically ready for anything at all times. And so part of that is his mind is constantly imagining the worst thing that could possibly happen. And so, like, right before the wedding, instead of the bards showing up, Akira imagined, oh no, Sanbalay's old crew found them and is going to come burn them all down because they hate them. But it turned out just to be bards, so it was fine. But Akira was triggered. And then there was the carriage where instead of seeing a dead body, he saw a body coming back to life and was very much ready to put an arrow through it in front of the child of the woman who was dead. But he didn't, so it's okay.
I definitely did not realize that was your alert feat, but that makes a lot of sense. I love it.
We only more recently started adding that in. Well, I should say it's been happening for a while, but he used to write it and then delete it. So for those of you in the Discord, if you've ever seen that happen, it was usually something to torment Akir. So we just decided to start keeping it and crossing them out because that's more fun.
Because when deleting it, it gets super confusing as to why Akir is like freaking out, and we're just like, "What? Listen, I want to know the joke. It's not a joke; it's trauma, but still."
Yeah, Akir is always ready for everything to go wrong.
And then he does this thing where he brings in children to confuse Mina. I don't know what to do.
The children he's brought in have always been to torment you.
It's very difficult for me. Like, I cannot keep this child, but somebody take it. Whose baby is this? So yeah, I don't know what to do with this girl.
Akira is going to try and bring her back to Nicholas Inn, and if there's not an obvious answer, he's going to take her on the ship with him. So, but like that's what Akira is. He's a good guy.
Can go live with Gina.
Back in Saltmarsh.
Back in Saltmarsh. Listen.
Maybe.
What's her name? Reina? Or
I'm just.
How do you say
I'm just gonna have to cast invisibility on her whenever things get intense.
I know, like, she's not safe. She's not safe with us.
That's the thing. The invisibility. Well, my current version of invisibility only works as long as you don't attack something, which will work for us in the right circumstances. But like if things get dicey, I'm throwing on her and telling her to just lay low.
I don't want to.
It's okay because for the drowned ship, we were planning to take Jiminy's
or something.
Yeah, we were planning to take Jiminy's ship to go fight the drowned ship. So we'll just leave the girl at our house or our ship. Wait, no, we have a castle. Well, tower.
We can't,
thing.
But we also can't open the castle tent on the ship. We'll drown the ship.
Well, sure, but we just open it outside and tell her stay in the castle.
Yay! She's like Boo from Monsters Inc.
Dex just said she is the BBG.
Oh my god!
And so now I am paranoid. Dex, why do you do this? God.
She killed all of her family. Oh god, I'm scared.
DM, I would like to make some insight check, I guess.
Insight check this.
With inspiration to determine did she kill them? No, but I should probably make a check because I have made a check to know that not a normal beast caused this damage. But I haven't tried to line that up with whether or not I know anything about green-skinned things with claws. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Roll for it.
Oh, now I'm very paranoid.
Now I'm scared. DM's picking on me and my big heart. Not nice.
Joke's on you. Akira is neutral good, which means he'd rather die than kill someone potentially innocent. Most of the time.
Surprisingly, we're not very smart, okay, cat? We're very pretty and very kind, but not very smart. My intelligence technically is like in the gutter. It's really good that Mina's intelligence is a plus like 0. Because I'm not that smart either. I don't think this way.
Akira's clearly got going on because he got that whole clue game figured out.
Yeah,
so,
that's why we let Akira do most of
more
the
or less
talking.
single-handedly.
Atreus and I are just like, hi, we're hot, and we hit things.
I hit living things. I hit undead things. I solve crimes.
DM, my armor class went down to a 19, by the way. I think something happened with my shield. This needs to be fixed. This is urgent.
Oh, I wonder if D&D Beyond was counting your shield as needing to be attuned, which is not correct.
This cannot stand.
No, it's a +1 shield. It's a +1 shield, so the +1 feature would require attunement.
I am devastated.
That's a problem.
This is not going to work for me. All right. Good night, Amelia. Good night, Rob. Good luck.
Good luck.
We're here for you.
Good luck.
But yeah, that's gonna need to be fixed because I'm not okay with that.
I have to say, rolling into this campaign as a level 7 is wild because I don't think I've ever played anything higher than like a level 3 or something. So I'm just feeling like unlimited power right now. Like my hit points are higher than I've ever seen in my life.
Your hit points are higher than mine, and I got a little jealous. Not really jealous.
Your constitution is insane.
I was like, what?
This is why I roll physical dice. I don't trust this virtual dice. We'll screw ya.
It's like you can get hit quite a bit. Well, Peter was comforting me because your hit points made me like feel a little, not like the tank anymore. And I was just like, this cannot stand. I don't understand.
Look,
but apparently you can get hit a whole lot, but you can't deal a whole lot. So,
No, I cannot keep up with y'all's damage output at all. Rob's helped a little bit, but actually Rob's helped a lot. So we'll see. But it's mostly like things that I can use on one encounter per long rest, which means that I'll be good for like one battle a day. But
once a day.
I can't exactly tank things without another healer around anyway. So I'm just focusing on not dying myself.
I mean, I technically have some healing, and Atreus has some healing.
And
but
I'm
it's just
gonna have a ring that has.
No, Atreus has some healing, but Atreus isn't planning to be around for a minute.
That's true. That's true.
So. No,
I just think it's funny.
I
just think it's funny that we've had 2 clerics for this whole time, and like neither of us have really been healing focused at all.
I've got expertise in medicine checks. Like, we'll be fine.
Yeah, you had like expertise. You had proficiency in like everything.
Jack of all trades feature gives me half proficiency in everything.
That's what did it. Man.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Our audience is starting to dwindle.
It's all right.
What questions you got for us?
Anything
other
you
than
want
are we terrified of our DM? Because the answer is always yes. And the NPC tavern.
We are terrified of our DM. We're terrified of our NPCs. We're terrified of losing Atreus. Oh, is that just me? We're terrified of pretty much everything. So it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so it'll be the 3 of us next week, and it'll be really interesting to follow Atreus' story on the Discord, because that'll still be happening because Amelia is a crazy person and we love her for it. But there will still be movement on Atreus' part. It just won't be on camera.
Yeah, it'll all be text-based.
So it's another reason to join the Ko-Fi coffee.com/Rules of Redemption, because that story will still be moving there. We'll try to recap them as much as possible while Mina and Atreus have very separate panic attacks.
Hello, first-time chatter, tail wags.
Welcome.
How does Atreus get yoinked? And what is his story going to be?
Not know. Rob has something brewing, and it most likely changes the farther the longer Amelia stays pregnant, and every time the party does something new, I'm pretty sure that story changes ever so slightly. But there might be some sort of portal situation going on because we've encountered some portal. Wow, welcome from Ireland. We love Ireland.
Wow, cool.
Thank you for joining us.
That's awesome.
International.
And being up late.
That's so late.
What time is it in Ireland right now?
I feel like it's probably like 2 a.m. ish. No, almost 3.
We're gonna have to tell you that sleep is important. We really appreciate you here, but sleep is definitely important. But yeah, thank you so much. That's really cool. I feel like you're one of the most distant people to stop by. So
yeah, that's a good question. For the people in the channels, who's the furthest? Who's the furthest away?
Thank you further than Ireland? Gifter.
An anonymous gifter's dropping presents.
Thank you.
I love when the chat fairies show up. Little chat fairies. So exciting. But yeah, so to go back to that question, we don't really know how it's going to happen. Only Rob knows how that's going to happen. We don't even know if Trace is going to get to say goodbye. Probably not. But yeah.
The only thing I do know is that it's really convenient that I'm working on these like reinforcements for the ship, because those can take as long as they need for us to get Atreus back. so that there is a little bit of story there. I don't know whether we just stumbled into that, but I'm like, oh, this is like super convenient. This might take a little bit more than a week.
We have definitely destroyed ships in the past, so it's good to have someone who can reinforce them. It is apparently 1:40 in Ireland. It is rather late, so make sure you get enough sleep. That's really important.
Recapping Lord of the Rings.
Dex
love to
back,
see it.
Back again. Dex, what do you want? This is a question for the audience, but mostly Dex. What do you want to see happen to Dex's character? William Wallop does not play necessarily, but portrays the character of Dex, which is an NPC that my brain created, and therefore we ran with it. And so I'm really curious to see if there's anything that William Wallop wants Dex to become. We've thrown around the idea that Dex is now the new captain, because I think that would be awesome.
Akira's definitely going to vote for Dex to take over, and also to sell the Leviathan. The Levian.
Levian?
I'm pretty sure we renamed it.
Whatever it ends up being. Oh my word! That is awesome to know. Tailwags, link from my Instagram account and sub. So first time you caught it. I'm really excited. Well, this is obviously, we're not playing today, but we will be back next week. If you didn't catch the beginning, but currently our DM and one of the other players are in the hospital and they're having a baby. So that's really exciting.
Hoping to have a baby today.
Hoping to have a baby.
Hoping to have a baby. I think it's in the works. Things are moving.
Trying real hard.
Yes, so this is just a bridge episode to kind of transition there. But yeah, Nate's our new player, and it's going to be really exciting to get this new character come on in and meet an already established party who is also like gonna be losing a character real hot quick soon.
Yeah. The healer is about to be AWOL, so we call in the bard reinforcement.
Bardic reinforcements.
Yes.
Yeah, the other thing is my character is usually full of sunshine and joy most of the time. A little upset right now that one of our characters passed away and is about to lose her husband in this game because the player who plays her husband is currently having a baby. Yeah. So it's about to get really stormy and chaotic in Nina's world. I am not planning how I'm going to play her. I'm just going to let my emotions do the thing.
But that will probably happen off screen because Janine will not be able to play that out live.
Oh, no. No. I don't plan on having an emotional breakdown on live because I am not that professional of an actress. I'm okay, but I don't think I'd be able to take myself seriously enough to just be like, so that's going to happen in our Discord, which you can join for $3 a month down in the link below. Ko-Fi, coffee, whatever, ko/fi.com/rules of redemption. Do you think they'll tell the doctors the baby's coming before giving it a name? I'm a big fan of you.
I am suggesting that to them.
Please always come back. I know it's really late in Ireland, but I'm having a great time.
Even if you can't come back, we do want you to know that we try and post these every week, so they'll be on Twitch for at least 2 weeks, and we do have a YouTube channel if you wanted to go back and look at some of the past recordings. So if you wanted to see how we actually play instead of just this Q&A session of us rambling.
Our DM and his wife, they do have a D20 already separated and ready for the baby. So
unrolled, never been rolled.
The baby gets to roll first.
Wow.
It's a little D20 plushie, and it's adorable. So this little nerd is gonna be really excited to see baby's first roll.
They are really so dedicated. Like if the baby came yesterday, like Rob would be here DMing tonight. Yeah. Like it's only because they're literally in the hospital today.
We were actually with them yesterday, and we were like playing with their dice. Not actually playing. We weren't playing D&D. We were playing with the dice, which was fun. We have good rambles. Thank you. I really appreciate it because I'm a rambler for sure. I'll just keep talking to fill empty space.
And if you think Janine is a rambler, just wait till you see Amelia.
It's lots and lots of giggles. There's a lot of
it's just like
this
constant.
Is why when Amelia and I were just like, oh, Mina and Atreus are gonna have a wedding, and there's no way we're doing this on stream because I cannot do mushy lovey-dovey vows while looking at Amelia's face. That wouldn't have worked. That would have been really something to behold and not as beautiful as it actually turned out to be because it was amazing.
That was a beautiful wedding. I'm trying to remember what episode it was. I needed to figure out these episode numbers.
I mean, we didn't do it on stream, so it was between episodes.
Right.
That's right.
I just said that.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Join
the Discord and find it. Just search
Join
wedding,
the
I guess.
Discord.
We can totally find a link to that. We can link that message on Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I'm definitely calling y'all the dolphin people. Like the first time I meet you, like everyone saw the dolphins. The other bard wouldn't shut up about the dolphins. Y'all are the dolphin people for at least.
We did get attention from the bards. They wrote us a song about our love.
I feel like
the other bards did not shut up about the dolphins. Like
everyone's gonna love Akira because Akira summoned a dolphin. Apparently, I did not expect this. I just expected Mina to be happy. but apparently I enthralled the entire dock.
Well, and like you really don't see like a Dampier and Aarakocra and a half-elf walking around together that often. Y'all kind of stand out.
I mean, I wear bright yellow and shiny mithril. There's nothing subtle about her. I rolled a 6 on my stealth check. A 6. I am the day. It was a natural 1 because I have like a plus something or whatever. But yeah, it was stealth is not my thing. It's just not. Gosh, what was I gonna say? Oh. No, I don't remember. I was gonna say something.
Oh. I was just going to comment on Tailbag said that they tried D&D before, but it was tough. And so they just used their guitar and sang everything.
I love that.
That is just everything that a DM would
I'm
want
not
from a
weeping.
bard.
It's my battle cry.
Yeah.
Listen, if you are friends with me on Instagram, can you send me a message? Because I want to know who we are. I want to be friends.
Oh, mini-me. Talk about mini-me, Mina.
Okay. So, in one episode, we walked into a shady tavern called the Empty Nest. And there was, no, that's not how it started. Rewind further. Akir and I Akir and Mina walked into a shop to do some purchases. And this girl wearing yellow was trying to buy weapons. And Mina's just like, that's a cool thing you're buying. And she turned around and apparently fangirled because she was trying to be Mina and was like, I'm going on a quest just like you. They're calling for ghost hunters. And then she's like, this is terrible. This is a bad idea. Please don't go by yourself. Which that was bad advice because then she found the shadiest people to sign up for an adventure with. So then later on, when they regrouped with Atreus, who is apparently wiser than Mina, they went to the tavern, looking for information. She's there getting drunk and was just like, I'm about to go on this adventure with those guys. And we're like, you're gonna die.
They're going to take you out in the alley and mug you.
We're just going to murder you, poor princess. And so then Atreus convinced her she has to stay home to write the epic tale of Mina, the golden dragon of the 3 seas. So then we walk this poor girl home.
The most impressive part of that is that Atreus convinced her of this. Atreus, who has no charisma.
But he's very pretty. He's very pretty. Yesterday, Amelia and Rob's children asked me, why did Mina marry Atreus? And I said, because he's hot.
Keeping it real.
Simple answers.
Because I was raised in the Twilight generation. That's why. Yeah. A whole script that could be put into a Witcher spinoff easily. My gosh. Gina and her adventures.
All right, we found our theme. Witcher style.
I'm a big fan. I am loving this. He's hot and he sparkles. Yes, let's talk about the sparkling. Peter, why do they sparkle?
Thanks to Akir, because Akir performed the ceremony spell during their wedding using silver powder as prescribed. They got a +2 to AC for the next 7 days while they're within 30 feet. So anytime a weapon or attack hits them where the +2 is the reason that they don't get hit, they sparkle. Because Akir's magic protects them. Well, Akir's goddess's magic, I guess, but whatever.
I like her. She's cool.
It's cooler than Lucidium.
Yeah, he sucks. We gotta find out the name of your character's god, Nate, and like see if he's cool
hold on. I totally have it. I should look this up.
This is why Gina and the new little girl are in it together to wreck Mina's world. Yeah. These kids keep coming for me.
I'm sorry. Is Mina forming this little army of monsters who are going to attack us later?
I don't know. I'd rather use them to attack other things. They could be my network of spies. Oh, I love this idea.
Okay, my deity's name is Muamen Duathal. So he's a deity of wanderers. So
That is going to be impossible for me to say.
it's gonna be impossible for me to say too. And I was totally imagining my dwarf with like a vaguely Scottish accent, and I'm like super intimidated now that we have someone from Ireland saying in the chat. So we'll see. Don't hate
that just
me.
puts the pressure on.
Yeah, the pressure is like turned up to 11 right now. That's fine.
We've got a first-time chatter.
Big bad little girls.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, how do you say this? Redo Slowtown? Yep. Okay. You asked for, you've never seen or played D&D in your life. Can you get a summary of what's happening? So right now we're not playing D&D. We're talking about D&D, but next Monday we will be playing D&D. So come back next Monday. But if you have any questions about D&D, we can answer them now. But we can recap at least our characters.
Go to our YouTube channel, and we have like 25 episodes of us playing D&D. So lots of opportunity to catch up on the stream from that.
Exactly.
But at a high level, D&D is a tabletop RPG game created back in the 70s or 80s, I guess, and has evolved a lot since then. If you're familiar with things like Stranger Things or Critical Role, those are D&D. Basically, we all sit around a table. There's a game master. He decides, sit around a table or do things virtually like we do. He decides what's happening, and our characters take actions in the world. We can fight things, persuade things, buy things, anything we really want to do, and the DM can torment us with trauma. So that's fun.
And you can decide you want to make a decision and it not go your way because the dice said nope.
Yeah, and like Peter, you were kind of chatting on the podcast that y'all were featured on. Like, there can be very different games depending who's DMing, depending what the crowd's like. Some of them can be super duper encounter, battle, attack based. This one's a pretty good balance of attack and like role playing and like building your characters. So like you can really get out whatever you want to put into it. And this could be really different depending on what group you have. So
definitely. We've had some very intense fights. We've had some political intrigue we had to unravel. We dismantled a smuggling ring, and
we've had some very deep conversations.
We solved a cat murder mystery, and also characters got married. So there's a wide range of things that can happen.
D&D is like therapy. It's not therapy. Please still go to therapy. But D&D is very good for exploring trauma and mental health responses and being like, wow, this really spoke to me because of this. It's awesome. Question, did Stranger Things boost the player? Boost with its emphasis on its success. So do you think like Stranger Things boosted the D&D phenomenon? We were just talking about this at New York Comic-Con on Saturday. Peter and I, like, Peter had been playing D&D for like since he was young, pretty much. I had never played until like earlier this year, but we've been going to Comic-Con. I've been going to Comic-Con since like 2015, something like that. And I've never really paid attention to any of the D&D shops. This year, there was a whole room dedicated for tabletop games. And like booth after booth after booth of dice and like games you could buy. And I was just like, has this always been here? The tabletop game room was new. And so that makes me think that like there has been an increase with the success of the show.
And it wasn't just a tabletop game room. Like they had a bunch of different games, board games, a bunch of other stuff. They had some other role-playing games too, but they had an entire half of the room was a section where they had DMs. And you could sit down and play a one-shot and just learn to play D&D.
Wow.
And
yeah, and I was like, this
half
is
the room
adorable.
was just learn how to play D&D in the tabletop gaming room. So like,
so cute.
I would say yes. I would say Stranger Things had a huge influence. I would also say I think Critical Role and Vax Machina had big impact. It's hard to say what without looking at
I
specific
made
stats.
everyone
Like,
in our friend group watch Vox Machina because I instantly
good.
got obsessed. And now everyone who in that friend group who watched Vox Machina has now played D&D. So,
well, I have to say,
Dragon Prince is D&D based, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Or there's a D&D game based off of Dragon Prince. I don't know what came first.
I've got to say, like, D&D is more accessible than ever. Like, D&D Beyond takes a lot of the difficulty out of building a character. Like, you can just pull in all sorts of content. You got the items, you got the spells, you can keep track of it. Like, it is way less intimidating. It can still be a little bit much if you've never done it before, but it's way less intimidating than, like, trying to piece it together from like reading through a handbook and everything. So I think that probably helps too.
Oh, definitely. The addition of online resources to help with character creation is huge. There used to be programs like when I was younger. Wizards of the Coast had some PC programs that you could use to build stuff. You still had to have some knowledge of the rules to kind of navigate it, and the program wasn't that intuitive. But comparing that to D&D Beyond, it's just a whole different world. I think also like for DMs and new DMs, campaigns are so much more accessible too. Like you don't have to worry as much about the rules because they're all kind of built into the system, and you can just buy campaigns and play them on D&D Beyond.
Who would win? A constipated orc who is strong but must wait 2 moves, or a dwarf without mining skills? Says Tailwags. Tailwags, please message me on Instagram. Okay.
I don't think my dwarf has mining skills, but I really hope I'd be able to be an orc who could only go every other move. Like, I really hope so.
Yeah, I feel like missing out on 2 turns is a huge detriment to being able to win.
I need to know who you are, Tailwags. I need to know. Reveal yourself. I don't know the answer to that. I've only been playing D&D since February. I know that we had a little bit of a Torkel backstory, but we didn't. If anyone wants the backstory on Mina and Akir, just pop that in the comments. We can totally do a little quick synopsis. What's your favorite classes? I only have played a fighter, so we're gonna go with that.
My favorite is definitely a ranger, especially with the new 5e rules, because there's so many ways to multi-classing and dipping your toe into other things is just a lot easier with the 5th edition of D&D. And so I just really like rangers, ranged attacks using bows, doing a lot of the more like stealthy fighter type things. But also now with 5th edition, having easy access to do magical things on top of that is super fun. So ranger, but close second's probably sorcerer because magic is fun.
I'm so bad with questions like these. Like I guess I don't know. I guess I'd have to go sorcerer, or I don't know. I don't have experience with a lot of the classes, so it's really hard to pick one. There's a reason that I try and play almost a different one like every campaign. Like I'm just trying to get a feel for all of them. So this will be my first time playing a bard, and I'll let you know if I like it better than being a sorcerer.
We will have
who it is now.
We will have to get our DM to answer that question, because I think he will have a much more complicated and well thought out plan, because he's been doing this consistently for a lot longer than any of us. So
I was just talking to Rob, who's our DM, about potential multi-classes for Mina because she's just a champion fighter right now. And I'm like, she's been so adverse right now to like deities and gods and stuff because Atreus sucks. His sucks. Amelia made him up though, so that's all on her. And she's been like sheltered as a kid, so she doesn't really like do magic. Like she's like, oh, you are like worshiping this thing to get magic. I don't know. But I just discovered the artificer class that doesn't require a deity. It is learned magic. And I'm just like, oh my word, wait, this is perfect because Mina's going to turn into Iron Man. Basically, just like, got no powers, I've got tech magic. I'm excited. This is a thing that could happen.
Technically, my deity doesn't have anything to do with my magic either. Like, bards tap into, like, the cosmic magic of music and sound and stories and words and stuff. So, like, I have a deity, but, like, the deity is not the source of any of my magic.
Yeah, my ranger is the same way because rangers have some spells. And more recently, I have actually been using my ranger spells a lot more than my cleric spells because I am multi-class as a Tempest cleric too. Because Akir likes lightning and thunder. He's a storm cloud.
Yeah. And I am the
But
sun.
yeah, so part of my magic comes from my deity, and part of my magic does not.
I just like she could definitely be bardic, but I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like how do you explain this sudden bardic energy that comes upon her? Like artificer kind of like makes sense as like now she's using magical items, and therefore this is like the next stepping stone, the natural.
No, I can't picture Mina as a bard. That like
I was like, what?
Mina playing a lute. No. Also, my dude, preferred
Mina band solo.
Classic cat. Are you asking where my love of lightning and thunder came from, or Kier's? I guess they're similar answers. I don't know. I guess as a kid, just watching. Yes. Yeah. Well, the answers will be the same then. Akir grew up in the airplane for the first 10 years of his life. And so there's no land there. So you're just like flying in the clouds and the lightning and the thunder. So you just are one with it. And so he's just always really enjoyed that. Me as a child, I just liked sitting and watching lightning storms, like outside. I don't know why. Just cathartic, I guess.
Put on a posh voice and sing. I do sing as a person. I've actually had Mina sing once or twice in the campaign.
Yeah, you made up a song for the lizard folk children, right?
I did. I did write a little song for the children. Again with the children.
Rob just likes throwing children at you and seeing what you do.
I am pretty good with children. They do seem to like me. Oh, yeah. Any final questions?
Do you remember what the song was?
Song?
I can try and find it in the Discord quick.
It had something. It was like a song apparently that her mom sang to her about going off into the sea and like exploring and wondering who you'll be. C and B, you know, they rhymed at one point. Yeah. And then come back to me, something like that. Mina hasn't seen her mom in a really long time. She's alive and well. She's just back in New Finbar.
I make a trip for each of my parents' decade anniversaries. So I was actually just in Saltmarsh this year for their 120th anniversary. That's why I'm around. It's basically why I'm around here. I was going to be from way further off, but yeah, I'm from around Saltmarsh. So
I found the song.
You found my song. You want to post it in the
song.
comments?
I will post. Do you want me to post it in the comments?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So setting the scene, we were basically going to the lizard folk home, village, fortress thing to try and convince them to have peace with the city we were coming from, which went wildly successfully because we're awesome and killed their enemies. But part of it was convincing everyone to like us first. And so Mina's way was to sing the children of the lizard folk a song
while making paper boats.
the fun part is the lizard folk don't speak common.
Nope.
So they had no idea what she was singing. But this is the song.
She was making paper boats, and then they took it, and I think one of them ate a boat. And they put them on their heads and, did a shark attack. But I wrote this little ditty. There was like a way to sing it in my head, but I don't remember. You know what, Tailwags, with your guitar, I gave you some lyrics. Feel free to put it to a little tune. Enjoy. Send it to me.
All right. We've been going for an hour, so I think we are going to wrap up soon. But any other questions from the chat?
Yeah. Any other questions? Any random? You can suggest scary monsters now. Our DM's not here.
Yeah, he doesn't have to see that.
Yeah. Make a little ditty to my song.
And just a reminder, we will be streaming again next week. So look forward to that.
We'll be actually playing next time.
Actually playing.
Yeah. Who knows what the group's going to look
see.
like.
It could be the three of us with our DM. It could be the four of us with Amelia and the DM. We just do not know at this point.
We don't know. It's chaos. It's a great time. Other than hi, no questions here. Hello. How are you? How's your day? I feel like there should be like one more question before we go. I just don't know what that question's gonna be.
Porcelain Beautician, give us a question.
Figure out a question. Doesn't even have to be a
putting you on the spot.
Could be whatever you want.
Participation.
Oh, we also need a theme song for Rules of Redemption. Tailwags, we want to break out that guitar again.
True. We have been using a lot of arcane anthems because they provide music for people like us to use on streams for D&D games. So thank you, Arcane Anthems. But
okay.
A specific song for us would be great.
You guys, Mike is here. Hi, Mike.
Good questions, everybody.
Okay.
There we go.
Wow. All right. We're gonna start from the top. If you had the chance to rebuild your characters, what would you change if you did?
That is hard because I am a perfectionist. And so there are like a million little things that I would try and tweak, and I would just never be satisfied with it. So it's probably good that I can't try and just rebuild my character. With that said, if I were to have to make a new character, I would probably lean more heavily into magic. So likely something sorcerer related. But I also know our DM has a lot of extra classes and subclasses, so I would need to do some exploring first.
Well, being like a first-time player, it's like interesting to look back because I built her on a very, very hollow shell and have been changing her pretty much as new information shows up. Literally, what I was telling everyone the other day was I didn't have that much of a fleshed out backstory for her so that we could just fill in the gaps when new information came along. And at one big summit meeting, basically, there was a group glaring over at us. Amina's like, why are they so angry at us? And then the DM's just like, you fought them in the war. And I was like, I know why they're angry at me. I can still hear the battle cries in my head and Jimmy dying in my arms. So that was always one. Like, oh, all right, you got this information, you adapt, you add it. But I would definitely make sure she didn't have a +0 in intelligence because that really hurts my arcana, investigation, nature, religion. But it's a good thing I made her very non-religious with that +0 because I get a lot of natural ones when I roll a religion check. It tracks really well. Yeah.
I do feel like my character should be a little bit more nature oriented, because he's only got a +1 to nature, and he's a ranger, so that's a little awkward, but we deal with it.
I mean, given that I'd like just built my character, and by just I mean like mostly 3 weeks ago, and then I've gone back and changed little bits and pieces like
Change.
every couple of days. Like, there's no way I would end up with the same combination of spells because it's just so hard to choose. There's so many good options, and all of them sound so fun at different times, and yeah. So I'd probably end up with a different combination of spells, but probably not out of any intentional decision making.
Yeah, I'll say, I guess one thing I might change about Akir if I were to do everything again is maybe not multi-class as a cleric and maybe do something like a sorcerer instead. But I'm not sold on that because I know I did when I was choosing between what to multi-class, because I knew I wanted to multi-class. The Tempest Cleric was very tempting because of the storm aspect, and I just couldn't resist that. But like the limitations from sorcerer to cleric, like it just didn't quite fit what I wanted to do with him and how I was playing him. So yeah, I'm on the fence about that one, but I'm not dissatisfied with it.
Next question. Who does all your hair and makeup? What looks so great? That's Bika, Porcelain Beautician, in the chat. Shout out. My hair is dyed red.
She has literally cut all of our hair. Every single one of us.
All single one of our hairs. She's fantastic. And Mina's a redhead because Bika has died. Her name is Becca. I call her Bika. We were college roommates. Because Bika dyed my hair red, and therefore Mina's a redhead.
She's cut my hair too, so yeah, all of us here.
All of us. Hair and makeup brought to you by Bika, Porcelain Beautician. How many licks to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Well, the rules of redemption number is 17, so.
Gotta be 17.
We roll a lot of 17s.
You did miss one question from Porcelain.
I did.
Porcelain Beautician.
Oh, what did you eat for dinner? Peter and I are married, so we ate the same thing. We ate
that I made because I make dinner.
Peter makes my dinner and my lunch, but not my breakfast, but only sometimes. We had tikka masala on noodles with green beans. What about you?
I had sandwich, ham sandwich, and apple crisp over at my in-laws. Apple crisp and ice cream, very good ice cream.
Apple crisp sounds pretty good.
It was really good. It was hot. It was right out of the oven. Super good. Would recommend.
Toughest D&D quest. I've only fought this campaign. Sure. Getting munched on by a mimic was not fun for me.
Yeah, I gotta say the most traumatic and near-death experience we've had so far is the one we just did in the Discord, because we literally lost a character and we almost lost another one.
Yeah.
And if we had lost the other one, we might have lost the third, and Akir might be the only survivor. And that would just, like, Akir would become an invalid at that point, because he would just not be mentally okay at that point. He would just be gone.
Yeah, that one sucked.
I think my toughest D&D experience is trying to play a chaotic neutral character who's kind of on the verge of chaotic evil. It's like just right on that line, and it is stressful because that is not me at all, and not getting along with the party stresses me out. So I think next time that character shows up, I'm gonna be a little less cantankerous just for my mental well-being. So that's kind of a cop-out answer, but
for those who don't know, that is a reference to the D&D campaign that I'm going to be leading. It will not be streamed. It's just a campaign with some friends. My first full campaign as a DM. So it's going to be interesting because they're all relatively new players. So we're gonna have some fun, and no one will get to see it.
Is that it? Did I miss anything?
Just on the note that Nate made about the character alignment, I will say that playing a neutral good character is actually a little bit more
Good night,
challenging than
Dex.
I expected. Good night, Dex.
We're probably not going to be here when you come back.
No. But it's more challenging than I expected, mostly because everyone else in the party is just chaotic neutral. So in the most recent example, we walked up to a dead corpse, and one of our characters was like, this one's dead, but it's an NPC. I ain't helping with that. And Akira's like, but we should
You have her vivify.
them. No. But it's okay. It didn't cause any drama because Akira didn't know that he made that choice. Akira just thought it wasn't possible.
Right.
So we're good.
You get mad at what you don't know.
Precisely. And that is how you do not metagame.
Don't
or
metagame.
At least try not to.
You've got like 3 or 4 rules that you should always follow. Never split the party. Do not metagame. And remember, it's a game and not your real life.
Not metagaming. Not
What?
metagaming is hard as a new player. If I think my rule is like, if I'm tempted to metagame, I just roll for it. When my character do this, let's roll for it.
Right.
That is a good like tiebreaker. I have definitely spent quite a few times where I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Akira would not do that. Akira's gonna do
Make
this.
in character choices. This is why you spend time making a backstory. This is why I'm chaotic neutral, because I can do whatever I want. If you're a first time player, play what you know. My character is just really like a caricature of myself on steroids, pretty much. So it's easy to play into the emotions. Once you figure out like how to separate it a little bit more, then go ahead, explore a little bit further. But that's why I'm not reading Nate's backstory. I don't want to confuse myself.
This is really the most time I've put into backstory on a character, and I really feel like I know who my character is way better. I'm really looking forward to exploring it. Like, there are definitely some things that I'll learn about him along the way, I'm sure. But yeah, having a good backstory really helps you when you're figuring out your character's direction.
Yeah, Mike says that he lives a chaotic neutral life in real life. Don't we all? Don't we all?
I guess to an extent.
You play chaotic good, and therefore Akira's chaotic good.
Yeah. I'm chaotic good, I guess.
D&D character would devo be taillegs drunk. My character gets drunk often because I do love a whiskey, and so does she.
And sometimes that whiskey is magical and it causes problems.
Sometimes I cause problems. Okay, but I take everybody with me in my problems. And
you know what? We should have answered
Tavern.
with that. We should have answered with that on the
pirate
toughest
whiskey.
the toughest thing that we've done. Pirate whiskey.
Pirate whiskey.
Man.
Not even once.
Mina turned into a dragon, and I
No.
nothing.
I want Nate to relay this story.
Please, as a viewer of the pirate whiskey episode,
what did you see?
Oh, the pirate whiskey was a riot because I figured out like half of the riddle, so I got to figure out what was going to happen to y'all on.
You're the one who did this to us?
I mean, it was a real brainstorming session between all of us in NPC Tavern, but I got to make the final call on the turning into a dragon thing. And that was a riot to watch. So if you weren't here, they found some pirate whiskey with explicit instructions that you were it was supposed to toss a coin over your shoulder as you were drinking it.
Yes.
Yeah, some people did not follow the instructions and ended up poisoned, as I recall. Yeah, that was a good time. And other people followed the instructions and turned into a dragon.
I did.
I don't remember all the details of that encounter, but it was an absolute riot to watch. But at the end of the day, y'all got some little bit of dragon skills, and Peter got some sort of bonus for being smart enough not to drink the whiskey, or Akir got
Mina got
the whiskey.
Mina got blind sight, so she can now see invisible things, like the little golden outline of them, which has come in handy with the Banshee. Because I didn't get disadvantage on any of those rolls because I could see the Banshee. Atreus, I think he got like boost in charisma and strength or something like that because he turned into a fairy tale hero, and Akir because he protected our dumbasses. His god and the elven god were like, "Thanks for watching over our children."
Thanks for watching our foolish children when you didn't have to.
Here is a tattoo of a bird on your chest that dual wielding, right?
So it's technically the meta magic adept feat, which basically gives me 2 meta magic sorcery points. And so what I chose from those was distant spell and twin spell. I've really only used twin spell. So like if I want to do a guiding bolt, I can hit 2 people instead of 1. Or if I want to do a cure wounds, I can heal 2 of them instead of 1.
Helpful when you only have other two companions.
Yep. Honestly, who could have imagined that drinking magical pirate whiskey would have unexpected consequences?
So here I found the official description that they were given before deciding, let's drink this. The description is, it's pirate whiskey. Take a swig, toss a gold coin over your shoulder, and pray it lands on heads, not tails.
This was my idea. It was fine. It was fine. They had spent a week with like the lizard people, and she's like, I just want to drink something cool and fun. And then Akira learned to always have booze on the ship for me.
Oh, wait. There was another set of instructions.
Uh-oh.
Just remember, never drink alone. Don't forget to toss the coin while you are drinking, not before or after. And don't drink more than 1 drink at a time. Doesn't matter if you shoot it, sip it, or chug it. Only once.
We followed
a riot.
Directions?
Bad choices, very entertaining results. You'll have to see it.
Well, very like reputation-changing results for Mina. Like literally, this is her whole identity now, and she's
Mina is now the dragon of the 3 Cs.
Don't tell nobody that I can't do this on command. Don't tell nobody.
We are not endorsing drinking weird liquids. We're explicitly not.
But Atreus does, because when we were on the Sea Ghost, Atreus found this strange barrel of liquid and is just like, I drink it.
You know,
it turned out to be ale, but he just drank it.
Do it in D&D. It'll be fun.
In D&D, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you, Mike, joining an hour into that pirate whiskey episode.
I
really
very
confusing.
Enjoyed playing the world's most terrified dragon. I played Mina the dragon, super skittish, like a cat who walking on ice, and I thought it was hysterical.
Was the Banshees on the ship, was that 2 episodes ago? That was on stream, right?
That was on stream. Yeah, that was my favorite episode.
I will find that one real quick.
If you want to go find that one, that was a riot of an encounter. Mina, just Mina. That's all. Just Mina.
Question.
I believe that one is still on Twitch, and
might be.
If it's not, it's definitely
going to be on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah, that was a great episode, especially for me. Because Atreus is just like, I can kill an undead thing, and it's a banshee, and only Mina can see it.
It is the episode titled Haunted Quarters.
Haunted Quarters.
I believe it's from September 19th.
Drink, and now you're naked on an empty ship to Asgard. To be fair, we had it where whatever you were wearing when you turned was what you were wearing when you weren't turned. Mina and Atreus
Mina
weren't wearing
turned.
anything.
Mina and Atreus were in their bed together, so
Being married and stuff. I mean, that was like pre-ceremony.
Akira came back to the ship, and there was an elk on the deck.
A whole moose.
And from that moment until like the end of the day, it was just a horrible, no good day. Because at the end of the day, they faced a vampire spawn. So that was fun.
You know.
And Dex got captured and stabbed, and we had to save Dex.
That was all the same day.
That was one very long D&D
That was the worst day of their
day.
lives.
It was horrible. It just kept going.
So back to that question of worst or hardest or whatever encounter. That one, Pirate Whiskey Day, the whole day, the whole thing.
The whole
awful.
day just kept going and going and going and going.
The days in this campaign can be very, very long days.
I just always keep asking, what time is it? What time is it?
Please let it be nighttime so that we can make a new day.
Can my character go to sleep now? Because if not, she's going to have a panic attack. Yeah. That was Mina's first very not out of character. It was in character, but like very dramatic, big, angry feelings. So that'll be fun to play again. Another fun thing about big, dramatic, angry feelings is that I physically feel them in my own body. So I was very stressed for like 4 days because this one D&D day took 4 days.
I just hope that Mina likes Torkel, because if Mina doesn't like Torkel, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm not going to promise you anything.
I don't expect you to.
You're just going to have to play it right.
I don't expect you to.
Play it well. I need to let the dog out.
Right.
But it's 9:30 and I feel like it's a good time to wrap it up. So
yep. Thank you all for joining us. And like we said, join us next week for an actual D&D stream. We look forward to seeing you all. Enjoy these tunes by Arcane Anthems while we play you out.
We'll leave the chats open if you want to chat. But
yep. Keep on chatting. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.